half full, the revival.
Y'all know what this is. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rex, aka Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who they are, who they are, right? Come on. What is this, man? That's a long day. That's a long day. It's crazy.
We
and
were
that's
up late.
Mr. Glass half full, and that's Spee if you nasty now.
Let's go. Let's go.
And I'm here with my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Damn It Daniel. And shout out to you. Yes, you, the revivalists in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up a lot. Share this and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. Please, if you can, go and support us on Spotify and iTunes as well. We need those numbers up. And guys, man, we're here, man. Day freaking 2 off of the event. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm tired of shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm tired. Woo! But let's go around the room. How you guys feeling, man? I'm gonna start with El Jefe on this one.
Good, man. We're recording this on a Wednesday morning after the live mock draft. We'll probably post this a little bit later in the week, but
yeah,
so much fun last night. It was a marathon of a show. Couldn't have done it without Monty because it kind of went off without a hitch, thanks to him, because we were able to just focus on what was on the screen instead of the background. So big thanks to Monty once again. And if it plays out the way that mock draft went, the Giants are going to be golden. So there's no way it's going to happen, unfortunately. So
exactly.
So we got that, but that really fun show. Fucking huge week. Knicks and Rangers playoffs. So much fun shit to talk about. So I can't wait to get into it. How you doing, big dog? Spiro?
Yeah,
I'm still
coming off that high from still coming off that high from last night, man. We're right there, man. A spring fever is in full bloom. It's like 80 degrees outside. Well, not too much today, but you got that spring vibe going on. The winter sports are getting into the playoffs. It's like literally here this weekend. That our people's mock draft is basically our start of our draft week. Draft season for us, and we culminates next weekend. I'm just so fucking excited right now, bro. I'm excited for everything. I need the Giants draft pick to happen. I need the playoffs to happen. I just need this all to happen. Just let's start getting into it.
We're so close. We're so close. It's a week. It's a week.
We had to do this show because there was so much to talk about other than the mock draft. We had to do something extra. What do you think, man? How you feeling?
Nah, I totally agree, man. What an event. We want to shout out everybody that participated, especially Monty for helping us out, man. That was incredible. That shows you guys we actually need a freaking producer. So if you know anyone, give us a shout. You know what I'm saying? But guys, let's go through this, man, because we're trying to get this done for the people here because we got so much to talk about. I want to start with this, man, because El Jefe posted a little challenge because both of these guys, Mr. Glass Half Full and El Jefe, is a movie buff. I'm the only guy that didn't see this, which I feel so stupid now for not seeing this movie. But he posted a challenge, and I thought it was fire. So I'm gonna start with you and Mr. Glass Half Full on this one. Actually, no, I should start with El Jefe because he actually was like, you got to do this shit. So I'm gonna start with El Jefe on this one, man. What was your thought process? And go with your pick, man. And where'd you get this idea from?
Yeah, so this is a tribute to the movie Draft Day, which I enjoy. A lot of people don't like it. I don't get caught up in how really. But Kevin Costner just delivers another phenomenal performance. You believe him as a GM, as Robin Hood, as Whitney Houston's bodyguard. This guy can do it all. And Cowboy. Let me add in Cowboy because I'm deep into Yellowstone.
Yes, right big time Cowboy.
But he is the general manager of the Browns in that movie. And as the madness begins, he writes something on a Post-it. You don't see it until after the draft, but he writes a player's name, Vontae Mack, I want to say. And he says, Vontae Mack, no matter what. It's like a Post-it that he just wrote it to himself to remind himself during the draft night. And a lot of trades go down. It gets crazy. It's a great movie to watch the week of the draft. It just gets you extra pumped up. But we said, why don't we, for the Giants, write down our Post-it of the guy that we want no matter what, right? It can be, and I think everyone except Caleb Williams is basically on the board because we're not giving up 11 first-round picks to go get Caleb.
Exactly.
Would you like me to kick it off?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
All right. If you could see my screen, I'm saying Jaden Daniels, no matter what.
Let's
right?
go.
And he's currently slated to go second overall to Washington is the most common outcome. But I am in full bloom love with this player, not just because of the Heisman performance that he did last year, and he put up huge numbers, 40 touchdowns, 3,800 yards. All the stats were there. But I'm thinking long-term, big picture franchise quarterback. This guy can play the pocket. He can sling it. But then he's also got that Lamar athleticism should the pocket break and he need to get out. So the risk, and there's risk with any prospect, right? He's slender, right? He's going to put on some more weight and some more size. He's going to keep the speed. So he's just such a dangerous prospect to have because you can't, if he can sling from the pocket and he can escape like Lamar, and as long as he gets smart about avoiding the big hits, which are even bigger in the NFL, this guy is going to be unstoppable unless Washington messes him up. But
which they will.
Yeah.
They will. They know.
So this is our dream scenario. Like, how much better would you feel if this guy was your quarterback versus the other realistic scenarios we're looking at, whether it's moving up for JJ McCarthy or waiting to see who falls to us or taking a flyer later in the draft? Like, all those things are possibilities. For me, if you can get Jaden Daniels, it changes everything overnight. All of a sudden, Jalen Hyatt's going to pop off. Wan'Dale Robinson's going to pop off. The offense, the franchise, everything changes immediately. So for me, Jaden Daniels, no matter what.
Love it. Love it.
Speed.
Well, yeah, and further on that note too, like that the deep ball is a thing again. With Jaden Daniels, can fucking sling it. He could throw it good downfield, man. So Jalen Hyatt becomes a good fucking pick again. It makes sense. For me, though, dude, I know it might be unrealistic. Outside of Caleb Williams, I truly believe it's Drake May, no matter what, man. Drake.
Tell me why. Tell me why,
UNC
Drake May.
Tar Heel. Dude, he's got it all. 6'4", 220. He could sling it with the best of them. He's got the Justin Herbert type arm. He can make every fucking throw on the football field, and especially in the Northeast, playing where we do. You need that guy come December, January, to be able to sling it in that cold weather, that windy fucking stadium. And he's got that Josh Allen to him. He's got the Herbert to him. The one thing right now is he's reckless, and he needs some work, so let him sit for a half a season, fucking work with him. And who better person than Kafka and Dable to work with a guy to just sharpen up everything. And that's what they did with Josh Allen. Josh Allen he was a fucking wild, inaccurate passer coming out of Wyoming. And then look at him now. So it just feels right. It feels exactly like who they want. He can run a little bit too. He does it all. He's got the leadership qualities, the prototypical build. He's got it all, man. So if there's a chance that, Jaden goes second, I don't care what you got to do. I don't care if you got to trade it for your first round pick for next year. Like, for me, there's no limit to what you should give up for this kind of guy. If he somehow gets to 3, convince the Patriots. Fucking Costner it, man. Costner, I want all my picks back. I want all my picks back.
Eli.
You'll get it, Eli.
Eli, you got to watch this movie before next week.
I'm definitely going to, man.
Can I add one thing on Drake May real quick?
Yeah.
Is the comparisons to Josh Allen, they're like twofold, because not only does he play like him in that reckless big body kind of quarterback, but that is the guy. Josh Allen is the guy that Dable did work with and mold.
Yeah,
so there's twofold reason why you would like that pick for the Giants. And I think it's a little lazy when people compare Daniel Jones and Eli Manning, because their game is nothing alike at all.
Not even close.
Not at all. And it's lazy because they look alike and they have the same doofus face,
personality.
And so like it's the lazy comparisons with those two, but the Josh Allen, Drake May, there's actually some merit to, and Dable would be involved with both. So like that's way more. That's a much better comparison for me.
Shane, for that matter, too. True. He's the guy who was part of drafting him. So
exactly right. Just wanted to add that. Would not be upset with that at all for the Giants.
Not at all, not at all. But guys, I wanted to do something a little bit different because everybody and their mom kind of went for the quarterback, right? Including you guys, my brothers here, right? You know, so they were like, "Hey, quarterback, quarterback, quarterback." So I wanted to challenge myself a little bit. So guys, no matter what, this is the guy I'm going to go with. I don't know if you see it. Let's back it up a little
There it
bit.
is.
No matter
There it
what,
is.
Malik Neighbors, guys. Why? Because this guy can make an average quarterback look good. This guy catches with his ball, standing in at 6 feet, 200 pounds, runs a 4.3, and he's actually every millisecond of that speed when you see him on the field.
Yeah.
This guy is a crisp route runner. Also, he could come in those little trick play packages, which I hate that Kafka calls, but he could come in and give you that wide receiver sweep out the backfield and actually do something for you. He got yards after the catch. And like I told you, he can make an inaccurate quarterback seem accurate. Now, don't get it twisted. I do understand LSU, who he has back there as a quarterback. But I'm telling you right now, with so much capital that the Giants will have to give up to get to that quarterback, if you sit there and Malik Neighbors falls at 6, you go and pull that trigger for Daniel Jones. Because, again, he can make that guy look incredible as far as throwing the ball down the field or at least throwing it in mid-range, because that yards after catch is going to give it to you guys. So for me, it's going to be Malik Neighbors. No matter what, go throw the kitchen sink. Actually, don't even got to throw any kitchen sink at him, because why? He's going to be there at 6.
Probably,
so you go ahead and got your guy. You still got your draft capital as well to go get you another offensive stud as far as lineman is concerned. And then you build from there as far as anything else on defense or offense that you really may need. But you have your true number one wide receiver. And then next year you can go into the draft and say, you know what, if Daniel Jones didn't progress with having a guy like Malik Neighbors on the field, then let's go get our quarterback by any means necessary and see from there. There's always going to be a guy there, right? Let's just hope it's the guy. And let's go from there, man. So that's my guy right there, Malik Neighbors.
I love it. And again, I have to express this to everybody again. If it shakes out that we don't get a quarterback and Malik Neighbors or Dunze or Marvin Harrison Jr. is the pick, please, guys, realize that we are getting an alpha fucking stud, potential top 5 player here. So don't throw this hissy fit. I'm not going to be a fucking Giants fan anymore. Like, come on, like. I know we all want the quarterback. That's
Speed. Let me say this too, Speed, because you got Marvin Harrison Jr., right? And then you got Malik Neighbors. I think it's 1A and 1B. I think those guys you can change and you'll be happy with those guys, because watching the both of them, you go, man, they are true number one receivers. It's kind of like when Odell and Mike Evans came out, right? Those guys were legit number one wide receivers. Like, you was like, man, 1A, 1B. You couldn't pick which one was better, right? So in this case, I really do think that Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr., no matter what, those guys are going to be great for your team. Those are real, true, legit.
Don't forget about that, man.
Oh, I definitely won't. But I would say those guys, to me, watching their films and etc., those two guys, okay, those are the guys a team will definitely benefit for. Not to say Odunze won't be the guy, but I'm just saying, looking at these two, I'm like, oh, this is surefire. The Giants are fine in that position, drafting these guys that high, and be okay and be absolutely okay with it. So I'm definitely, man, I'm on board. And again, we don't have to give up much capital to get that quarterback. I mean, to get that wide receiver, because I think he'll drop there. I really think he'll drop there. So that'll be my goal and my plan. No matter what, it's gonna be my guy.
You can't be so upset with the Giants getting that alpha receiver that they haven't had since Odell. He brings that explosion, and I don't know if there's another position that translates as easily. And like, you're always going to have busts, and it can be situational. But when you're talking about a guy that's that fast, has that good of hands, can run routes like that, you know what he's going to do at the NFL level, right? If he doesn't have the quarterback or the system or whatever, that's a different story. But the guy can play, and I think it's easier to evaluate and slide in that alpha receiver than it is projecting a quarterback where there's a million things they have to do at the next level. You know, if you can run routes and you're explosive and you're a crazy athlete like he is, he's going to produce. Just get him the ball, right? Like, to your point, he's going to elevate the quarterback. So quarterback is the preference 100%. For me, but I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry if they go get this alpha, because they got to figure out quarterback at some point. I mean, Neighbors even said that if the Giants pick him, they're gonna have to figure something out. They're going to want to get me the ball, and they're going to want to get a guy who can do that. He literally said that in front of the camera. So lets you know how that's a little awkward now if the Giants.
Hey, Daniel, what's going on?
Either way, then you have a 1, 2, 3 of all very young, very fast receivers with Hyatt, Wandell, and Neighbors. now you're starting to build something. You just need to put it all together so that becomes a scary core. Because right now, nobody's scared of any of that right now.
No.
And here's the thing, Daniel Jones has to be that guy to step up and get it done. He got to get it done. He can't be shell shocked back there. Like looking at his eyes, that some reporter asked him some great questions. It was like staring into the sun, right?
Did
like
you
his
see
eyes,
that?
yeah,
that was
oh,
crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
that guy's
I
got to
don't know
get
who
his
that-
credentials pulled, man. I
You
don't
know
know.
what?
He's
I
been
think we need
really
him on the show. We got to find
reckless.
out who the
I
hell
don't
this
know.
guy is.
I think there's Zoom interviews, so maybe he's just like crashing the Zoom room somehow. I don't know how that reporter's getting in there, but
We gotta check that shit. Check the
But
credentials.
I tell you,
Mhm.
Daniel Jones got to step it up, man. And with that,
Well, he doesn't have to because he does have to, but he's gone if he doesn't. Like it's very easy. Like
that's
it's
what I was
not like
asking.
Daniel Jones and the Royals is over if after the Giants need to find their next quarterback. Be it, and the chances of it being Daniel Jones is very unlikely. But it's gonna either happen this offseason or next. Like they're either gonna draft a guy this year or next year. And the people that are like, we can't. Who's gonna get Neighbors the ball? The next person, if it's not Jones, like it's going to happen next year. Yeah, they're going to throw the ball his way.
It's
I
true.
guarantee it.
You brought up Mike Evans. They've had 3 different quarterbacks since he's been there, and the dude just fucking puts up 1,000 yards like
He's gonna get his touches. He's gonna get his touches.
Just get him the ball.
Yeah,
but there's like a little bit of a damned if you do and damned if you don't scenario for the Giants because you need that alpha receiver. You need the quarterback. So you can't get both. So there's a little bit of, well, who's going to throw him the ball? And then, well, the Giants can't win really in this scenario. There is a scenario where maybe it's Odunze or Neighbors, and then they somehow get Penix later. Now, this guy's probably has the widest range of where he could go is Michael Penix. Like some people have him second round. I can't imagine. There's just too much desperation for quarterbacks for him to last in the second round. So the Giants would have to make a move back into the first.
Or you draft your quarterback, you trade the 47th pick for some people are saying Brandon Ayuk, maybe, and then you have your quarterback and your wide receiver, established wide receiver, and you're cooking with gas at that point.
So one quick thing on Penix. He's a Giant, right? We talked about Monty and Sal and all the great work they do. I don't know if anybody watches as much tape and does as much research as them. When they were on our show, I asked him, who is the best pure passer in this draft? He said Penix. I said, okay, next question. Who is the best processor? Who can read the defenses the best in this draft? He said Michael Penix. Yeah. So there's an injury concern, but he's got 2 healthy seasons back to back, and these NFL teams are doing he checked out, right? So if that is a guy that you want at 6 and you can make a move for Ayuk, that's still enough to flip your franchise and get everybody excited. So there's a number of different ways the Giants can go to try and ignite some life into this. My fear is that they don't get their quarterback and they have the receiver. Does Dable survive that kind of season with that kind of quarterback play again?
I think, yeah.
And that's a good question because, just not too long ago, Bill Belichick actually came out and said, hey, he wants to coach again. And the Giants were the one team he wants to coach again. So with that being Hefe was one of them, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Hefe, do you feel like, Brian Daboll has to start off to a great start this season? Because again, that those whispers can become louder, especially now that Bill Belichick threw his hat into the ring, right? So does Brian Daboll have to start off good? Does he have to have a good season? And what would classify as a great season for you as far as record-wise for him to stay on at this point?
He's got to do enough. I mean, it can't resemble last year at all because they maybe misevaluated, overpaid Daniel, and that looked like a glaring, obvious mistake last season. And the Giants were back to the bottom of the barrel so quickly. So he's got to at least show up. But in my opinion, that's why it pays to go get your quarterback now, because he has to do is show life and show that you can build something, even if it is a lost season, right? And they've got 6 or 7 wins, but they win 2 of the last 3 or 3 of the last 5, and that rookie quarterback is growing and throwing touchdowns all over the yard, and the Giants are pumped and there's life, and you end on a positive note. That's enough to keep Dable, in my opinion, because this isn't a season anyone's projecting the Giants to go anywhere or sniff the playoffs. So if you can show life and show that you're developing this rookie quarterback, you got to let Dable keep the job. You got to let him keep going. I'm not interested in bringing in 80-year-old Bill Belichick who didn't show anything after Tom Brady left.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Speed, let me get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, man, I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theory kind of guy right now in regards to this because I still believe that Jones was heavily influenced onto by Mara onto Shane and onto Dable. And I think no matter what, they're going to give Dable and Shane a chance to pick this quarterback. And I think I don't see. I think Dable's a good enough coach to where I don't see it going under under 6 wins. And I think that is the only time that he might get fired if it gets so ugly under 6 wins. And the infighting happens again and everything like that. But I think he's a good enough coach. I think the roster will improve enough over last year's to the point where we're going to win like 6-7 games. And that way he'll still be safe. And I think he'll get to pick his next quarterback. The danger in that is then, what does that mean? Is it that next year win or else you're fucked kind of deal? Like, because then if you let him pick the quarterback and you fire him the year after, you're back into the Shermer fucking thing where he picked Daniel Jones, and maybe that quarterback might fall into the wrong hands.
And you're staggered head coach and GM
thing again. Yeah. And so it's a weird fucking risky situation. Like Jeff said, the best case scenario here is they pick the quarterback this year and he shows a little something, and then you're off to the races after that. And the rest is history, hopefully.
I totally agree. And let me say this, man, and I'm with you, El Jefe, man. I'm with you on this one. I don't care about no Bill Belichick coming in here to this franchise because it's going to do the same thing the fans was crying about 2-3 years ago where we didn't want any type of Giant affiliation. There's another Giants guy coming in. Now, I get it. He's the most winningest coach in the NFL as far as Super Bowls. I get it. I get all that stuff. But the guy's 80 years old. He's more at the end of his life than at the beginning, as far as his career. I'm not saying life overall, people. Calm down. I'm talking about his game as far as in his career. You know what I mean? Right? At that point. But he's more freaking at the end of his career than at the beginning, guys. While you have a promising coach in Brian Daboll, promising coach in Joe Shane that could come in here and let them cook. Like, at this point, I'm just done firing people after 2 to 3 seasons where they're like, man, we got to get somebody else in here that's going to do it right. No, who's going to do it right is consistency at this point, because we tried everything else. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result, right? So at this point, let these guys go in there and cook. Give them the 3 to 4 years, because, again, we're not going in here thinking that the Giants are going to go to the Super Bowl. I just want to see a competitive team. 6-7 wins is the norm. That's fine. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? And that sounds crazy when you're saying you're cool with that many wins. But I just want to see these guys compete. Go get your quarterback. Let's see some growth out of that, right? And then let's go from there and build and see. I want to see continuity after that at that offensive line level as well. I want to see those guys gel together. I want to see improvement out of that. If you can see those things, and with a rookie quarterback, and even if Daniel Jones is upright, let's say if Daniel Jones is playing and the rookie quarterback is sitting for the year, cool. I just want to see improvement as an entire team in its totality, especially at that offensive line. So to bring in Bill Belichick, I think it's a bad call. I think it will be a bad call. I don't care what team you want to coach for, dog. Go sit down and sit at the sidelines. We thank you. You contributed to the game. Thank you for 2 Super Bowls, but you're more at the end of your career than at the beginning, man. Sit down and enjoy your fruits of your labor.
And another factor is, if you're talking Bill Belichick, then what does that mean for Joe Shane? Because Bill Belichick wants to have all the control and all the power. So you're not kicking. Are you kicking Joe Shane and Dable out for an 80-year-old Bill Belichick? You better not, bro. You better not.
And the thing is, you brought in Shane and Dable because of their work that they did with Josh Allen, like bringing in the quarterback. To not give them a chance to draft their quarterback and then mold them, it would be blasphemous, in my opinion. It's like, why the fuck did you even sign him to save Daniel Jones? That was your goal. That was your only, no, give them a chance. Take your quarterback, be it this year and hopefully this year, but at worst next. And let's fucking roll up.
One more week, boys. Now, there are other New York teams, I'm told.
There are.
Who are actually good at what they do.
Actually exciting, too, man, because New York Revival, it feels like it's here. It feels like it's good. It's coming into fruition. Guys, we got the Knicks coming up, man. 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference Finals, guys. They are red hot at this point, man. But there's a couple people that are afraid, man, and I want to kind of get into this, man. First, shout out to Knicks, man. You guys are killing it, man. I'm sure Jerry Ferrara somewhere is like, yes! Shout out to our brother there. You know what I mean? But right now, this Saturday, they figure out if they play the Sixers or the Miami Heat. And a lot of people are like, man, I don't want to face none of those guys, or I'd rather face the Sixers, or I'd rather face Miami. I just want to say this, man. Are you scared? Who would you rather face, and are you scared in general? And I'm starting with Mr. Glass half full on this one, man. Talk to me, brother. What's going on?
So as a newly become Knicks fan, it's hard for me to say I'm scared because I don't have that Knicks fan. Sorry.
No, you said Knicks, but I was like net too because you
no, Nets are gone.
Never mind. We good.
He converted on the train ride to the Garden.
Sorry. Don't you see the shirt?
Let's go.
No, but like, so it's I don't have the going through all these losses in the previous years on my so maybe I'd be scared in that case, but for me, it's like when it comes to the playoffs, it's like you're in there with the best teams anyway. You got to beat the best. Fucking just beat them and do what you have to do. But having said that, as a 2 seed, you typically expect you're going to face 7 seed. They're generally a weaker team. The pull that the fucking Knicks got, man, where you're either playing, and you're going to find out tonight with the playing game. You're either playing the Miami Heat, who just went on a fucking miraculous run last year and have Jimmy fucking Butler, or Embiid-led Sixers, who the only reason why they're a 7 seed is because Embiid got hurt. And now he's back healthy again. So it's not the best scenario. Like those are those are not the easiest teams to go into. But I'm of the mindset that it's playoffs. You're at the Garden. You have home fucking court. Get it done, and then move on to next. And you've avoided Boston until the Eastern Conference Finals by getting the 2 seed. That's the huge part. But yeah, I'm ready to go, bro. I'm ready to go.
Well said. I don't know if I fear one team more than the other. I think right now Jimmy Butler scares me more than Joel Embiid, because those big guys get hurt a lot, and he could re-injure that in a second.
He's been hurt, by the way. On your point, he's been hurt again even since coming back.
Yep.
Exactly. So, and there's a gelling thing that has to happen. I don't think you can just snap back and just become the best version of your team just because that guy came back. If he's not 100%, like he might have to limit his minutes. He could retweak it at any second. So probably Philly, not only for the matchup, but less traveling. Let these guys hopefully get a quicker first round and rest up a little bit, get to the second round. But it's the playoffs, right? Like you shouldn't have any cupcake matches. It's supposed to be harder. The best teams are supposed to rise to the top. And the way Jalen Brunson is playing, I have more faith in him than I have fear of other players right now. And I know Julius Randle is not going to be with us for this run. And I don't want to discredit what he can bring, because anytime a guy can put up 30 on any given night, you cannot disrespect that in any way. But the way the Knicks have been playing is a very fast-paced, like hustle kind of game, and there's a ton of chemistry going on. So I'm looking at the positive in this scenario, saying let's let them run with that style right into the playoffs. Let's not slow the game down because Randle is back, even though he's a great scorer. Let's run with what has been working, which is the Nova Knicks just fucking putting it together night after night.
I totally agree. And guys, I want to say this, man. Knicks fans, look into my eyes. 1973. Okay. Now let me talk about this panel. All three of us were not born the last time the New York Knicks won the freaking championship.
And we're not young. We're not young.
And we're not young by all means.
We all got gray hairs going on.
Exactly. We are not young according to what these young kids will tell us. We are old heads, all right? Yeah. 1973 is the last time the New York Knicks won an NBA Finals championship. Let me tell you something, guys. At this point, when the hell we're going to stop saying, I don't want to see this team, I don't want to see that team, rather than just let's play this goddamn team. We fought this hard and let's figure it out. Because guess what, guys? That no matter what, there is no next year for the Knicks, because we've seen the Knicks on a high, then we've seen the Knicks on an extreme low to where people are cutting their wrists at the Garden or freaking paying $10 to sit front row next to freaking whoever the hell stars there at that point. All right? I'm just tired of the Knicks fans saying, I don't want to see this person. I'm scared because I want to go all the way. If you're the best team and you got there, especially at the second seed, you better go out there and prove that you could beat these teams. Right now, we're at a level. I want to see the Knicks start beating these teams. I'm not ducking no smoke. Give me Miami or give me Philly. I don't give a crap who's in front. You line them up. At this point, we should knock them down. 1973 is the last time we won a championship. Enough is enough. You guys got to close this out. And I'm tired of the Knicks fans crying. You better cry if we don't make it far. Because you're going to be like, man, there's no other freaking next year. But to duck smoke, that's not a New York thing to do. I'm challenging all y'all stuff, man.
Let's go.
Mess and let's go, man. That's where I'm at with the Knicks, man. Go hard or go home. Period. I'm sorry, I had to vent.
Well, hold on, real quick before you get to the next point. What would you deem in your mind as a disappointing finish for the Knicks at this point? Is it championship or bust or Eastern Conference? What?
Yo, I'm at a lose championship or bust, but I get it. Let's play for the show. First round and they lose. That's a disappointing season.
More than disappointing. It's a catastrophe.
Season.
Yeah. Catastrophe is right as a 2 seed.
That is terrible. So at this point, that will be the even the Eastern Conference. If you get there, you go, okay, listen, I'll do this for the show because I want championship or bust.
That's say it then.
1973, I get it. Like that's just what I want, that or bust. But I get it. Let me lower my expectations here. Eastern Conference Finals, you go, damn, that's a good season. No, we couldn't beat Boston because we knew it, right? We understood the logistics of it. But if they go into that first round and get swept by Philly or beat by freaking Miami, that's a disappointing season. I don't care who's hurt. I don't care whatever the case is. Right now, you guys got to go in and expect freaking finals at this point. You have to. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. But I get it. Eastern Conference, cool. I'll take that. But first round, extremely disappointed season. I don't want to hear no more about no damn Knicks. I'm shutting off my TV after that again. I don't care about the Knicks after that. All right? My bad.
I feel you, though. I'm going to turn off my, fuck everybody. Let's just go beat anybody we line up against. Because this season and the way it came together and the way these, acquired players have come together and put the season together, it's been fucking magic, right? It has reignited the Mecca, right? That's what the Garden is going to be so Mecca, on fire. So my expectations for the New York Rangers are a little bit different than the Knicks. So if the Knicks go and lose in the Eastern Conference Finals to Celtics, maybe in 6 games, something like that, but they go toe to toe, then you say, okay, let's get that one piece, whether it's a Paul George or somebody else, and then the expectation is finals for me.
Right.
This year as a 2 seed, finals, I'm reaching the Eastern Finals is completely realistic. You are the 2 seed. Why not? Why not you? Go fucking take it. And then Boston, you deal with them when you get there, right? But you got to get there. So you should be able to handle the first and second round. You're going in. OG is healthy. You haven't had Randall in months. So this is the team we've had. But I feel like getting OG, Bogo's starting to shoot the ball. Devo's been red fucking hot. Hart is playing out of his mind. You got dudes that are all playing their best ball at the same time. And you have 3 teammates who have won a championship in college together, loving life. The brotherhood is real. The chemistry is real. There's so much to like about this team. I can't wait to watch this run.
Listen, there was playoff Jimmy last year who dragged the Heat team to the fucking finals, right?
True.
Let's get playoff Jalen. Playoff Jalen. Let's see what we got. He is, in my opinion, still the fucking. He should be in the top 3 vote for MVP.
Absolutely.
There's been nobody else that's been more influential and more dominant. Let's see how much. To me, it's all about how much he's got left in the tank. If he's got enough in the tank to fucking take this team to the end, they could do it. They could do it. And Devo's got to shoot well. Everybody's got to do their role. And play their role. Mitchell Robinson and fucking Harvenstein have to fucking shut down Embiid possibly. Everybody's got to play their role, but they got a coach with experience. They got fucking players that have experience. And they got an MVP candidate fucking dragging them there. So to me, I'm with you, Jeff. If it's Eastern Conference Finals, they push Boston a little bit to 5+ games. I'm like, okay, successful season. It would be slightly disappointing. Anything less than that, I'm pretty disappointed, man. I'm pretty disappointed if they don't win 2 rounds. So let's get there, man.
Let me ask you this, Hef, man, because I need your thoughts on this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your X factor on the Knicks? Who's the guy that's going to propel them to make sure they get to that Eastern Conference or the NBA Finals like I want? But who's that X factor guy that got to step up more and help this team out to get to that next level, brother? In your opinion?
It could be someone like Devo because this dude has the ability to shoot the lights out. And if he starts getting hot early in games, they have to pay attention to him because Jalen's going to find him every single time. He loves dishing it out when he can. He can score, but he will dish it too. He's a phenomenal passer. He will find him. Not only is it his brother since college, he's been doing it all year. This Devo is top tier 3-point shooter this season. So he's got to still be that guy in the playoffs. And if he is, it makes Jalen's job easier. You don't want Jalen, to your point, dragging them through the playoffs. You don't want him fucking using every ounce of energy every single game to go for 35 just to drag because he's never going to last. By the time you get to Boston, you're roadkill, right? You got to get help. And Devo shooting like that, it can alleviate a lot of pressure and it changes the whole game. That's my X factor.
I agree. Speed, you got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, that's it too. But I'll just, for argument's sake, I'll say OG, because he is so flexible in, especially defensively. He can cover 1 through 4, and he can shut down. If you get to Eastern Conference Finals, Tatum versus him, or him versus Jaylen Brown, you expect him to battle in that level and take one of them out, or at least slow him down. So that, or him versus Giannis, that's going to be huge. Like, that's whoever they play, him versus Jimmy, he's going to have to be on Jimmy. Like, so he is an X factor for me, and he's going to have to chip in his 14 to 16 points a game on the offensive side too. But he can do so much, and the reason why they brought him in is for this. The Knicks look great. I don't know what their record is with him.
It's stupid, dude. It's like 23 or something.
I think they have like 3 losses with him. So he's clearly a huge key for them. And now that he's healthy, ready to go, I think for me, X factor, OG.
I like it.
No, I agree with you, Speed, and I also agree with El Jefe too. You know what I mean? Like, OG is going to be that guy to lock some of these star players down for you, right? So he's going to come in and actually contribute. Like you said, can he take that 14 to 16 to 18 points a night? I think he can do it, especially with Jalen Brunson getting doubled that he's seeing from time to time. Sure, he could be open in the paint, or whatever the case is. But Dante, man, got to be that guy as well, Hef. Right? Yeah. You got to be that guy to go in there when you kick it out. He's going to shoot that 3 for you wide open and etc. So those 2 guys definitely have to elevate this team, especially, like I said, I'm looking more towards OG to lock those guys down to come in there and come do his thing as well. So I agree with both of y'all, man. I can't even argue that, because I was actually going to pick OG out of that, and then they doing Devo in there. That's a plus 2, man. I agree with you guys.
But I mean, someone could emerge like Bogo is kind of been almost out of place on this Knicks team. He was a guy averaging 20 a night previously to the trade. And then it's like, well, where is he fitting in with this team? All of a sudden, the last 2 weeks, he's started to find his shot again.
Yeah,
and that could be an X factor that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And we need that, man, because you can't let Jalen go out there and Brunson just get tired, man, because you see it, everything is ran through him, which obviously he's the one. But at the same time, someone got to step up when that double team goes, because when you see him play, versus Indiana and the Pacers, you saw that defensive game plan. Stop Brunson or else. Let everybody else step up and make those shots for him. And when you looked at him in that last couple minutes, he was like, man, who's going to step up? It was hard to see who was going to do that at this point. So those guys got to step up. The entire team got to figure out and help Jalen Brunson out. And that's just going to set up Jalen as well to still drop those points. Because after a while, you got to accommodate those people that are open that's draining them too. So everyone got to step up in this. And this can't be a Brunson team.
We haven't even mentioned Hart. He is the heart and soul of this fucking Knicks team, man. Like, he's the guy who's going to get the fucking Garden off their feet. He's got that John Starks kind of vibe, that will fucking invigorate. So he's going to be – everybody's got to do their, the list could go on X factors, but man, it's going to be a fun summer. If they could all fucking just, hopefully, they get a little rest here. They soak up every bit of this rest, and it's like everybody's on full and ready to go. Come Saturday, 420, baby. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Dude, my last thought on the Knicks, and then we can move to the Rangers is, and the Knicks won't have to worry about the Lakers, barring are the Lakers? Did the Lakers make it? Are they in it?
They won the playoff.
They won the play-in. Okay, so unless it's in the finals, then we'll happily deal with it then.
That's a fine.
But I watched a 39-year-old LeBron James shut down Jalen Brunson and take him out of the game. And I feel like it was LeBron's game plan to come in there like, Brunson ain't beating us. What else you got? And the Knicks didn't have anything else. So that's the only thing that scares me. But that's why I leaned on Devo as the X factor. If that dude's hitting threes, double Jalen all you want. He's gonna find Devo, and if he's hitting those, you can't double Brunson anymore, and then the whole game opens up.
I agree, man. So guys, really quick, man. Of course, another New York team that is red hot. I think it was the best team in the NHL, right? So my President's Trophy, man. The New York freaking Rangers are actually killing, man. And this is what we all wanted for, especially when I started watching. Speaking for myself, 2 years ago, and I seen the potential of this team, and I knew it was the coaching. I was like, man, this coaching got to go. You know what I mean? So now that they got the right guy in there, you see the potential of this team. The question is, man, and it faced the Washington Capitals, right? The question is, man, and I'm gonna ask you, Speed. I'm gonna start with you, brother. What is the goal? What would be a disappointing season at this point for the New York Rangers at this point?
Man, we've seen it all with this Ranger team. If you've been following them for as long as I have, and especially recently, they've come so close, and they couldn't win one for Henrik. But now, they are. It's no doubt they are the best team in the NHL. Like, I know, like you could say the odds are different. Some teams have better odds to win the whole cup, but like if there's not a time, if there's no better time than now to win the fucking Stanley Cup. And we've gone to the Eastern Conference just 2 years ago. We've gotten close so many times. We lost the cup back in 2015. It's time for this team to get over the hump. They have all the pieces. They have a goalie who's in his prime and who's locked in as he's been all season. They have stars in Panarin, Mika, Kreider. They have a star defenseman. They have young talent. Like, it's all here. The recipe is in the book already. Like, to fucking have this team go to the next level, they need to cap it off. They have a coach that's won 2 cups already with 2 different teams. Like, the vibes last year were clearly wrong. Gallant was a fucking asshole, and he came out this last week that he called out Panarin in front of everybody, and the whole team quit. And that's exactly what it looked like on the ice against the Devils. It looked like they quit. They weren't given. But this teammate is different. They've been different all year. They've won in all kinds of ways, and they just got to find that next gear. Everybody's got to take it up that next gear, and it's going to take 16 more wins to get to where they need to go, and it's going to be a fucking grind because it always is. The most stressful time of the year is this time for me, because every game you're on pins and needles. It can change in a heartbeat every game. So I'm ready for it, man. But this team, if they fall short of a Stanley Cup Finals at one, and if they get there and lose, yeah, surely I'll be like, all right, we got there. But I want the cup. Anything else is going to be disappointing for me. I need it. I need that fucking parade. New York needs it.
F, let me ask you this before you answer that question, man. Do you believe in curses, right? Because the President's Trophy, every time a team wins, they never really make it to the finals there. So do you believe in curses, man? And what will be a disappointing season for you as well, man, for the Rangers at this point?
I'm going to choose not to believe in the curse since my favorite team just won the President's Trophy.
Good, smart man.
What Spiro said perfectly is that there's nothing this Ranger team doesn't have. They have it at every level. They have the coach, an elite goalie, and if Igor is that best version of himself, and the other guys do their job, it's going to be extremely difficult to beat the Rangers in a 7-game series. My X factor in general, not just the player, but in general, is can you get out of the first 2 rounds without going 7 games?
Oh, please.
Because that is, in my opinion, what has killed them in years past is they just run out of gas, man. And you've got to save a little something. Can you get that extra day or 2 of rest before you start a new series? The NHL schedule is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
How physical these guys play, how many games they have to play. And now we have a nice rest right now. But once the playoffs start, you finish a series on Friday, Sunday, you're playing someone else game 1, and you have to somehow reset. It's so hard to do that when you go 7 every time. So can you get out in 5 or 6 games in those series? That will be, then you're going in with energy into the 3rd round. It could be such a big difference maker in general as you look ahead to the playoffs.
And to your point, they get the way this fucking stupid NHL schedule works. There's teams still playing regular season until Thursday. The Rangers, I'm pissed off, but it's a big gap. But it's really good to refresh your fucking bodies for these 5 days because I think they're gonna play on Sunday and get that rest when you can. But you said you have to fucking finish it in less than 7 games. And the Caps are a team. You hate to say I don't want to look with egg in my face after this. But that's the team I wanted to play. It's one of the teams I wanted to play. It's one of the teams lesser talented teams other than Ovechkin. Maybe Ovechkin pulls a rabbit out of the hat. I don't know. But we should be able to dispatch them in 5 games. Rangers in 5. You heard it here first.
Let's go. And let me say this, man. For me, it's couple bust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah, we're with you.
This team went through so much, right? This is their potential. This is the best winning team in the NHL. So I expect them to bring it home no matter what, man. So for me, it's the cup or bust. But I want to ask you guys this, and I'm gonna start with you, El Jefe. Who was your X factor player as far as the Rangers that gotta pretty much continue that game or step up at this point? So who would you have in there as far as that?
It's Panarin. He's been elite all season. and he's just got to still be that guy. He's playing with such confidence. The chemistry is there on this team too. You see these guys just, I feel like the real chemistry is when you see these guys like breaking each other's balls and like having fun on the side. Like that's how you know they're like best friends, right? If you don't see that, not that they can't work together on, in the game, but when you see that, you know that these guys are on a different level, and these guys have that. They've been together for years. He is playing so fucking well. All he had to do was shave his head. He should have just done this years ago. But he had a historic season. He was lighting it up. He's facilitating, he's scoring, and he's playing like he's the best guy on the ice every time he gets the puck. There's something about the way he's moving around that he's just full confidence. So carry that right into the playoffs. Be that dude. Carry this team. It's going to be him carrying. And as long as Igor is Igor, Panarin's got to be that dude that carries them and keeps making the siren go off for the Rangers.
Totally agree. Speed.
Well, yeah, to expand on that point, 49 goals. The only guy that had 300 shots in a season since Rick Nash, like how many years ago? Like he is shooting it, and that's what you need. You need somebody that's just going to fucking put it on net, and he can put it on net with the best of them. How many clutch goals has he scored all season long? The one knock on Panarin, he's been an amazing sign for the Rangers. When it comes to playoffs, he kind of has faded the past 2 years. So we need full on Panarin. I 100% agree with you. For me personally, though, Mika has had a down year this year. It's been all year. It just hasn't clicked for him, especially 5-on-5. He's always going to score his power play goals, which will be huge in the playoffs because that's the differentiating factor. You need to fucking cash in on those power plays, and the Rangers have one of the best, if not the best, power play in all the league. It's one of the reasons why they are going to be one of the favorites going in. But he's got to capture that magic and got to catch that next gear as your 1C, your first center, your best center on your team. He needs to be that guy that does it defensively, offensively, shoots the puck. I don't want to see this pass first kind of mentality he's been having. Fucking have confidence, shoot it, put it on fucking net, score goals because he can do it. We need to see that reinvigorated fucking old school Mika that could just dominate, and that is one of the pieces that will be needed to take us from now to where we got to go. 1C Mika, we need vintage Mika, man. Need it in the worst kind of way.
Come on. Now, for me, guys, I need you. Come on. I told you, man, my X Factor guys, and I don't know if it's going to be a surprise, but I think you'll understand. But mine's going to be Igor Shesterkin. Now, why do I say Igor? Because the Vezina Igor was elite, like the best goalie in the freaking league, the best you ever seen in your life. And then to me, I thought he had a down year that following, right? So even at the beginning of the season, you look at it, you go, man, Igor, he was good. He was great. But now you're starting to see the greatness of Igor now. Like you're starting to see those last few games, the greatness of Igor Shesterkin. This is the Vezina Igor Shesterkin that we're looking at right now. So if he could bring that into the playoffs and actually shows that elite level, I'm telling you right now, the Rangers is winning this cup. Hands down. That's a brick wall right there when Igor's at the top of his freaking game. Now, again, if you're doing the old rope-a-dope, Igor, if you were just sitting there waiting to the final and then show him your game, kudos, brother. Do your thing. But we need you to be the Vezina Igor Shesterkin that we know you're capable of doing. And I'm telling you right now, I think he was rope-a-doping because you kind of see him like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock, man. So if Igor Shesterkin, again, like I said, man, he could be that brick wall for us. And if he's that guy, that Vezina state, I'm telling you right now, the Rangers is winning this thing all. Mark that down. Mark that down.
Just to add on to the two things that you're saying, like, totally agree. Even if there was a slip up, the Giants have a very experienced, a cup-winning backup goaltender in Jonathan.
The Rangers,
man. You just said the Giants. So I could have sworn. I was like, yo, I was like, these are the Giants.
I'm gassed. You're good. The Rangers have a cup-winning goalie in Jonathan Quick, who's been fantastic all year long. So God forbid, and I don't envision it. They can give Igor a break, maybe even if it's a game they don't need, and keep him fresh throughout the whole playoffs. That's huge. Second huge thing, Philip Heidel, who's been out since November with a scary concussion. They wondered if he was going to play again. He was back on the ice, from his home country, came back kind of under the wraps, was just back on the ice last week. And there's this thing called long-term IR where the Rangers, I said Giants again, the Rangers put him on long-term IR and saved his salary. And a lot of teams do that to get guys under the cap. But then come playoffs, there's no salary cap, so you can bring him back. So he's been skating with the team. He's been practicing. He will be the third line center, and that's a huge piece to get back if he plays. And I don't see why he wouldn't. He doesn't come back to practice with the team, and not play, in my opinion. So as long as he's in shape and he's prime Heidel, that's huge. You move Wenberg down to the fourth line. It just the most important part of the playoffs is having center depth. And if you have 4 good centers, that is huge for your team. So if he's back to full strength and he's able to skate the way he usually does, that's a huge piece that they're missing all season. It's like a cherry on top. So it gets me really fucking excited if that happens.
Spiro, do you think we see our enforcer Remp much in these playoffs?
It'll be interesting, man, because especially round 1, Tom Wilson. I don't know if you guys know, Tom Wilson is one of the number 1 agitators and dickheads in all the fucking sport. He takes people out. And if there's a series that you want to match up somebody that, say, hey, don't fuck with us, Rempe's got to be playing in this series right now. So it's tough because if Heidel plays, someone's got to sit in the bench. That's
what led me to that.
Yeah. So, but Rempe is needed for this series, this particular series. Especially right off the bat,
could be a situation where you give Heedle an extra week,
maybe
skating with the team and let Remp be there just in case, kind of thing. My last thought on Igor is that you made a great point about having Quick behind him as another experienced, really great goalie. But Igor didn't have to play the full schedule this whole year; he got time off. And like Eli was saying, he's starting to look like Igor now at the right time. If the stars aren't aligning. And this is the year. This is it. So
94, it's 30 years. Let's wrap it all together, right? Nixon Rangers, 30 years. Eclipse, Earthquake, OJ. It's all
happening.
It's happening.
Stars are fucking aligning.
They're literally aligning.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, last thing, your boys, Eli, tell them about what we're doing here. Tell them about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, guys, if you don't know, now you know. We always think of something crazy and outlandish and off the bat, right? But this is New York Revival. This is what we're about. It's not just sports entertainment, right, guys? So here's what we're going to do, man, for the Knicks duration and the Rangers duration playoff run. Guys, we're growing our beards completely out. Now, let me tell you, we're not going to be kind of crazy looking hobo-ish, all right? So we're going to shape it up, all right? But still, it's just going to get longer and longer, real ZZ Top style. You get what I'm saying? So the entire playoff run of the Knicks and Rangers, we're gonna grow this thing, man. See how long it can get, man. And I really do hope that this thing becomes extremely long, because that means we're winning, right? That means we're winning. So we're gonna do something. If you guys want to join us, go on in at us, man, as well on all social media platforms, guys. And just send some pictures, man. Let us know if you're down and you win this, man. That little stubble could get long, so
the beard,
out with us,
the beard will remain. The beard is going to remain until the last Knicker Ranger team is alive.
Exactly.
Let's hope it's going into June, baby. We want to go grow these beards.
Eli's got a great foundation. You could already tell it just needs to continue to grow. You water it, you give it a little sunlight. It's gonna go. I can't wait to see Spiro as he lets the thing go and go and go. Right?
I can't wait to see the both of y'all.
I feel we're the 3 level of beards here.
We are.
Spiro looks like a woodsman. It's like grown out scruff.
Yes.
I've got a couple weeks on you, and then Eli's got 2 months on me.
Yeah.
We are we're all at different levels. It's gonna be fucking awesome to look at us in June, when we're still fucking growing our beards, and we're gonna look like mountain men, but it's gonna be for a reason.
For the parade.
Our team, at least one of our teams, hopefully both, are rocking all the way to June, man.
Let's rock this thing to the parade, man.
Let's
go. Take pictures as well.
We'll be at the parade. We'll be there, and we'll make it happen.
1,000%. Your boy's getting a tattoo. I'm gonna say here now. I'm gonna say here. I never had a tattoo in my life. If one of these teams wins a championship, I will get my first tattoo, and it's going to be a Revival tattoo. It's going to be Revival
Oh,
Championship.
let's go.
And I'm going to go tick, tick, tick. Hopefully, I get 2 ticks in one summer.
Wow.
But that's where my brain is. I'm getting a tattoo if one of these teams.
F, you win this? You win this, F? Revival.
Did you say the Revival logo? What's on Eli's hat, and then ticks underneath for championships?
Ticks. Yeah.
Wow.
I like that.
And
You
you're
win
not
this, F?
counting NYCFC, are you? Or are you?
No.
Yeah, that was a good story and everything, but
It's got to be a major sport championship, like hockey, baseball, football, basketball. So that's my goal.
Good, that'd be
I
fine.
dig it.
So, guys, pretty much, of course, this is the end of the show. We want to thank you guys, and don't forget, man, the Islanders is in the playoffs as well. Can't forget the New York team
yes,
over there as well. So,
they're hot.
shout out to them; they're red hot as well. So, does that count for you to get that tattoo if they win it?
Hell
They won't.
Hell
It's got to be
no.
one of my teams.
I'm gonna think on that.
There we go,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So with that being said, man, we want to thank you guys. Thank you. Shout out to everybody, man. The People's Mock Draft. Go back and watch that. I promise you it'll be some great, great stuff. Guys, you're watching a pre-recorded show, man. We did this after the draft because we wanted to give you guys double the fun. Why the hell not, and have some fun with you guys? So we want to thank you, man. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to go on iTunes and Spotify as well. Support those platforms. Hit that
Leave a
thumbs up
comment.
on it, man. And trust me, we appreciate the support. The numbers are like out of this world on there. So we want to thank you guys for that. And of course, on behalf of my brother, man, you guys know who this is. And that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets. Speed if you nasty.
Let's go.
man.
Working the brim, working the brim, working the brim.
Work it.
And on behalf of my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Damn It Daniel, and of course is your boy Eli Rax, aka Vibes. We see you guys on the next one. Peace and blessings. Yes, sir.
Eli Rax, El Jefe, Mr. Glass Half Full, the Revival.